This morning on today's Real Estate, the seller's deadly sins. You know you shouldn't overprice your home, but there are some other common mistakes that could cost you big bucks, and your home could sit on the market. Well, today's contributing real estate expert, our brick house, the one, the only, Barbara Corcoran, has some tricks of the trade. So Barbara, even in a buyer's market, there are things as a seller you really should not be doing, and some of them, really are this common sense that we think we know, but it isn't.
It's not common sense. A lot of people get involved in their own home. They don't look at the situation from the outside, and that's what you need to do to avoid these real pitfalls, and lots of people do them.
When I was trying to buy a house, I remember this one, when I made an offer, the realtor told me the owner was insulted by my offer. Should you be insulted by an offer?
No. Here's what happens. Today, every buyer who's a half-wit out there feels obligated to put in a low offer. They feel that obligation. So if that low offer comes in, you don't know if he's a wise guy that's never going to come up in price, or if he's a normal kind of a person who's just going to move up in price. So the thing is, you want to test it by giving a good counter offer close to what you're willing to accept. 4 out of 5 people come up in price, but you don't know that if you're going to put your ego in the way and get insulted.
So if you dismiss it out of hand, you may be throwing away a sale.
It's crazy to do it. You just have to have one more visit with the person and counterbid.
The other thing that people do, the mistake they make, is say, you know what, I'm going to wait for the next guy, the next good offer.
Yeah, the next one right around the bend. The truth is, in a market like we have now, a real buyer's market, the next offer is more times than not lower. So if you can get someone to a point, take it real seriously before you throw it away and think, I'm going to get a better one tomorrow. It typically doesn't happen.
And then what about when you have an open house? The buyer, the seller, I should say, hanging around the open house.
It's terrible. Anyone who's ever attended an open house with the homeowner home realizes it's just a creepy way to look at a house. You're not going to open the medicine cabinet and the closet doors when somebody's hanging around the living room. The idea is take your dog or whatever you have to do to get out of there, but get out of the house, because the goal of an open house is for the buyer to visualize themselves living in your house. They can't do that with you and your wife in the living room.
Okay, what if you can't leave for some reason? Is there something you can do to minimize your presence?
The tiniest little room in the house, the least attractive room in the house, maybe even the boiler room, whatever you want to hide, and just hang out there and let the buyers have a good look at your house.
Is it common for people to hang around during an open house?
It happens all the time. I would say 1 in 3 open houses you attend, you see the sellers hanging out.
So if you do get out of the way, or maybe if they do discover you, should you be open to answering questions about the house?
Yes, but you should be almost curt and polite. And defer right away to the real estate broker. You know why? They know how to position the questions. They know a little bit about the buyer, and they're salespeople. And you pay salespeople to present things well, and you're not the salesman for your own house.
And before we move off of this one, limiting the hours to an open house can be a mistake.
2 out of 3 people only can look in the evenings and on weekends, and yet people continue to say we won't show on evenings and certainly not on weekends. Crazy.
Leaving closets a mess. I know it's tough, but you got to clean up the closets, right?
Can I tell you a crazy thing happens with buyers? When they see a really neat closet, they assume that the things they can't see behind the walls, they can see. So they'll think your electrical and plumbing's in great shape because your closet's neat. Go figure that. It makes no sense. But people do it all the time.
People not making needed repairs because they figure, I'm not going to be around here much longer. Let me just let the next guy do it.
Well, you can understand it, because when you're wanting to sell your home, what you're really trying to do is get money out. So the last thing you want to do is put money in. But for every $1 you don't spend fixing what's wrong with your home, believe you me, when that buyer comes in to negotiate, they're going to get $3 out of your hide for not making the repair. So it's the cheapest way to go. You
say also declutter, get rid of stuff.
People can't see through your stuff. Every buyer says, oh, I can see past it. The truth is they can't see past it. And a cluttered room looks small, a messy room looks unattractive, and it hurts the value of your home, for sure.
Don't haggle over the extra items?
No, because you throw in a chandelier, or somebody wants to buy a chandelier or a special rug, and you allow it to enter the negotiation, it will jinx every deal. You have to reserve it for after the house prices settle, and then you can negotiate the item.
And posting bad photos online, because online shopping or shopping for a home is really big now.
Yeah, bigger than Big Al. Almost everybody starts their search online. So think of the old curb appeal where people used to drive up with the broker. The truth is that everybody's seeing your house for the first time online. And so you want all the curb appeal you can. So if you take great pictures of your home with a wide-angle lens and great lighting, your house looks best, and that's really well money spent.
Quickly, some people say don't renegotiate or try to negotiate the broker's fee down. I know this might sound self-serving,
Yeah,
but
of course it does. But here's the truth. Brokers are motivated by money. If you pay a full commission when you list that house, your house goes to the front of the line, and that's the truth. So why would you want to nickel and dime the front end of the deal and go to the back of the line?
And don't move the furniture out of the house
No.
until you sell
An
it.
empty house is sad. It looks too small with nothing to reference it. Don't ever do that, or rent furniture if you must.
Barbara Corcoran, thanks so much.
Pleasure,
Great advice
Al.
as usual.
Nice to be here with you.
Thank